Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com.
Tired of pushy recruiters sending you LinkedIn requests for jobs you have no interest in? Tired of blasting out resumes into the dark? If so, you should check out Hired.com. Hired.com flips job searching on its head by having top employers like Facebook come to you after you fill out one simple application. You also get your own job coach to help you on your next job search. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you at least fill out the application. Just go to Hired.com/simpleprogrammer, and when you get hired with Hired, you'll get double the normal sign-on bonus for using that link.
I wanted to do a video today about a topic that I've been thinking about. I was working on doing some editing for my new book that's coming out called The Complete Software Developer's Career Guide. You can sign up here if you haven't already for the launch. It may already be out by the time you're watching this video. If so, that'll probably take you to the book page where you can just buy the book. But one of the things I was talking about in the book is I was talking about resumes and interviews and essentially getting a job. A lot of people are always trying to get jobs, always trying to get them jobs, right? So a lot of developers obviously out there trying to get a job, especially a lot of you that are watching this channel, maybe you're trying to get your first job. And there's a really, really important concept that I think a lot of people don't understand, and it's really critical, not just in getting a job, but just in life, which is that no one cares what you want. And so let me repeat that for you. No one cares what you want. So what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that a lot of times when you're trying to get something, right? Especially, this, we could put this on your, or apply this to your resume, right? I see objectives on the resume, right? That little objective, and it says, to get a job where I can use my C# skills and make a whole lot of money and get lots of chicks and have a new car and, I'm joking, but obviously they put their list, their wish list of what they want in the objective at the top of the resume. The very first thing that you see is, what do they want? No one cares what you want. They care what you can give, what you can provide. And so that's the key thing. Is like, so many times when you're out there and you're trying to get something, you are presenting it in terms of what you want. How many times have you asked someone something, and when you make that ask, you've basically said, you've justified, you've said what you want, and you've said why you want it, right? As if someone cares about that. No one cares about that. People care about what they want, and they care about what you can give them. So when you ask that way, when you ask someone, so for example, your resume, or if you're at a job interview and they say, and you say why you would like this job, or you're writing your cover letter, or let's say that you're asking someone to do a favor for you. Maybe you're reaching out via email for someone to do a favor, and you say, oh, I have this thing, I'd really love it if you would do this for me, right? You're asking a favor. Again, you're asking in terms of what you want. And, I've had a lot of success in getting some famous people to appear on this YouTube channel, okay? And I've had a lot of success in making acquaintances with some well-known people and some very busy people, and getting them to do some stuff for me that I wanted to do. And I'll tell you that the way that I approach, the way that I've had the most success is I think first, and I try to figure out, what do they want? What, not necessarily what I want, right? I know what I want, right? And I don't need to phrase that. I don't need to mess around with that at all. But what did they want? So, for example, I'm trying to think here. So I had Noah Kagan on this YouTube channel. Now he runs a pretty large company, right? I mean, he's been on Tim Ferriss's podcast. He's been on Tony Robbins' podcast. He's kind of a big shot, kind of a big deal, right? So how do I approach him? How do I get him to come on to Simple Programmer YouTube channel? I mean, yeah, we're decently sized, maybe 100,000 subscribers, but it's nothing like Tim Ferriss's podcast. I want him to steal some of his time and get him to come and chat with you all. How do I get that to happen, right? So I could email him and I could say, hey Noah, I would love if you would come out and be on my YouTube channel. Would you please do it? It'd be awesome. It'd be so great for me. It'd be so cool to get someone of your caliber on my YouTube channel. Okay, what's the chance of success of that? Not very good, right? But what I did was I noticed that Noah had launched a new podcast, and I noticed that he had a YouTube channel that he was trying to grow, and I noticed that his YouTube channel had only 15,000 subscribers on it, okay? And I noticed that his podcast was pretty new, and that he was putting a lot of effort in trying to grow this. I saw emails from him. I saw that he was promoting that this was his new thing. So I basically emailed him, and I said, hey, Noah, I think that my audience would love to hear about your new podcast and your YouTube channel, right? I gave him the size of my audience, and I basically, I don't remember the exact words that I used, but essentially what I did was I said, here's the benefit for you. I started out saying, here's what I can do for you. I can help promote your content. I gave him a compliment first. I think that's what I started out. It was always good to do that, on a sincere compliment, because I've been enjoying his podcast and his information. And then I basically went into what I could do for him, which is promote this new thing that he's working on, that he's interested in. A lot of time when I want to reach out to someone and I want them to do something for me, I do a couple of things. One of them is I see what's on their blog, I see what's on their social media. What are they interested in? What are they doing right now? Are they writing a new book that they want to promote? That's a great way to get people on to do an interview with you or something like that. What is it that they're interested in? Are they interested in cats? Okay, can I give them some information about cats, right? You know, some of this is right out of a really good book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? He talks about that in several stories similar to this there on focusing on what the other person wants. Okay, so I try to find that. So in that case, I found that with Noah, with obviously promoting that. And then the other thing that I did was I try to make it as easy as possible for him. So I basically said, look, all you got to do is say yes, and then I'll take care of everything else. I'll take care of the scheduling and everything else. Just reply yes to this email if you'll do it. So I'm getting that level of commitment. I'm making it as easy as possible for him. That's one of the key things that you've got to do. So what I would say is basically this. Just think about this. Think about this concept, especially if you're trying to get something, if you're trying to get a new job, if you're trying to get a relationship, right? And hey, this even would work for you guys that are trying to get the ladies, okay? It's like you got to think in all situations, whenever you want something, you got to turn that around and say, what does the other person want, right? Because no one cares what you want. You have to realize that they're making the appeal, like especially I've heard this a lot of times when you're asking for a raise, right? So many people ask for a raise and they're like, hey, I got a new car payment or house payment, or I just had a new kid and so I need some more money, or I'm not doing well right now. Right? It's just no one cares what you want. So you gotta say, what are you gonna do? What are you providing? What is the benefit for me? I think Noah actually did a video on this on what's in it for them. He did do a video, so I'll actually link to his video. Okay. Let's link to his video. Check out his video. I think he called it "What's in it for them with him" or something like that. And it's such a true concept. I didn't even realize that I'll be talking about the same thing. But it's so important because no one cares what you want. You got to think about that. So just next time you're out there, next time you're trying to get something, next time you're trying to get someone to do something for you, start off by looking out to see what do you think that they might be interested in. Everyone has something that they want. If you figure out what that is, okay, now you have a much higher chance of success. Now you can present when you ask for something, instead of asking for something, you're doing a favor. You're giving something out, right? And I just sent out an email. I'm waiting to get a response from someone who I want to do a forward for my upcoming book, and I figured out how to couch it, how to talk about it in terms of what they might want, so it's a benefit to them rather than me asking them for a favor. That's huge. Just framing, the way that you frame something makes a huge difference. All right, that's all I got for this one. If you like this video, you haven't subscribed already, and you haven't clicked the bell, click the bell, okay? You can click subscribe, but click the bell. This way you don't miss a video, because sometimes YouTube hides the new updates, especially when you're pumping out 2 videos a day. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Take care.